And hello again, everyone, and welcome to The Report. I'm Art Fennell. Well, the National Football League is just days away from kicking off the regular 2012 season now, but you'll remember this time last year, the season began in a hasty fashion as the teams were rushing to try and organize following a work stoppage, which came to an early end in August of 2011. But as a result of the collective bargaining agreement, the Players Union and the NFL owners had to make some hard changes to the game. For example, preseason training camps. Now, typically, those camps were filled with hard hits and hard workouts and fights all over the field like lions fighting over raw meat. It was the perfect appetizer that got the players and the fans ready for the regular season. Well, not anymore. Today, instead, training camps, many would argue, have gone soft, very soft. Gone are those rigorous workouts, that the hard hitting, and in many cases, even the pads are gone. A far cry from what it used to be. Now, new school players will say that that's better, but there's another school of thought on this, and that is that the soft training camp is a joke and is actually worse for the players and for the game. Joining me to talk about it are three NFL veterans who would know they played the game, they played it hard, and they played it well, and they know firsthand the rigors of old school training camps. First, we have Mike Quick in the house. Mike is a five-time Pro Bowl wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles and current analyst for the Philadelphia Eagles on Eagles Radio Network, heard locally on 94.1. There's Mike in his playing days, number 82. Next, we have sports analyst Gary Cobb. G. Cobb was a hard-hitting linebacker for the Eagles back in the day. He also played for the Lions, and he also played for the Dallas Cowboys. That's G right there, bringing the pain. G. Cobb also, his work can be seen as on the sports news and information website, gcobb.com. And finally, we have Dr. Lem Berman. Lem is a former defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles. And Lem is also a former NFL vice president for player development, and he was the mastermind behind the NFL Rookie Symposium. There's a young Lem looking lean and mean back in the day. He's also the founder of Dr. Lem Berman Associates, a business consulting firm based out of New Jersey. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. So good to have you here. This timely conversation. And I wanted to have you here because you all know what it's like to have the pads on, to be on the field and to catch a ball in front of 1 million fans while they're watching. You know what that pressure feels like. You know what the preparation for the game is like. And that's what we're talking about here. I want to start by putting up just a passage from this collective bargaining agreement on training camps. And then I want to get your reaction to that. Let me just get to one little quick clip from that. And it says this. Now, this is Article 23, titled Preseason Training Camps, and Section 6 of the agreement is titled Conduct for Practices. Paragraph states this: the first day of a club's preseason training camp shall be limited to physical examinations, meetings, and classroom instruction. No on-field activities shall be permitted other than running and conditioning. No contact shall be permitted. No pads shall be worn during the second and the third day of preseason training camps. Let's just start right there for a minute. You guys remember that? Anything like that when you checked into training camp?
I tell you, if they asked Buddy Ryan to do that, I know he probably would have attacked the guy. I mean, because we were hitting, really 2 times a day we would hit. And it was full scale go from the time we set foot there till we left training camp for like 6 weeks.
Yeah. Lem, what do you remember?
I don't remember during the Vermeil era easing into training camp. I remember the first day getting into the dormitory at Westchester University, and the next day we were in pads ready to go, and we were 2-a-days.
2-a-days right off the top.
Absolutely. I don't remember easing into it.
Yeah.
It was a little bit similar to what's stated. The first day was the day of the physical and the conditioning test. But after that, after the physical, after the conditioning test, to make sure that you are able to pass whatever standard they set for you, after that, the next day is just pads on, and the morning practice you're hitting, the afternoon practice you're hitting, and there was no limit on the time on the field. Now there's a limit on how much time you can actually have players on the field each day.
Welcome back to Art Fennell Reports. I'm Art Fennell, and we're having a conversation about personal fouls committed by current and former NFL players off the football field, and trying to get some insight into the mindset of what happens with these guys. And so we have two former players who know it well. Marvin Frazier's here. Marvin is a former wide receiver for the Denver Broncos and New Orleans Saints. He's a sports agent and an NFL consultant, and he specifically deals with crisis management, trying to help some of these young guys to turn themselves around before it's too late. And also here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Mike Rozier. Stellar college football career at Nebraska, and played in the NFL and the USFL, played for the Oilers and for the Atlanta Falcons, scored 30 professional touchdowns in his life. And this was a guy who could get that ball from north to south quick, fast, and in a hurry. We're talking about the troubles that these guys deal with. And by the way, you guys keep saying these young guys, but in the eyes of people watching them on TV, these are men. Yeah, they're not some kids. These are, right, as they say, grown men in full grown men bodies who are doing this. And so it's hard for anybody to see them as kids, but you hear older veteran players say all the time, oh yeah, we got to talk to these kids and so forth. Do they see themselves as kids when they're that young?
I always, I know I'm a grown man. Now I'm 51, but I'm still be out there racing younger guys in a parking lot somewhere, or at the Heisman dinner. I still race people. You know, I could look at a guy and tell if I could get you or not. So sometimes you might be older, but sometimes you might think you're younger.
I got you. Let me go back, Mike, while I've got it on you, to a dark time in your life. Again, you had all the glitz and glamour and all the glory, the Heisman Trophy, and that comes with a lot of fame. You're from Camden, New Jersey. That's home for you.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. But it was 12:45 in the morning. It was November 6th, 1996, in Camden, New Jersey. Shots rang out, and 3 of those bullets caught you on a street corner. You were hit in the hand.
In the hand and twice in the side.
And twice in the side. You could have died that night. Could have been killed.
Yeah.
What happened? What was going on with you that you were in that kind of circumstance? Tell us about that.
Well, I'm from Camden, born and raised. I was in a place that at that certain time I shouldn't have been at. A buddy of mine named Bart Merrill, we grew up together since 3rd grade. A guy was about to shoot him, and I seen it. I was about to go collect some money from the Panzerotti shop of Donkey Cheesesteak in Kane Avenue.
A lot of people suspected that drugs were involved in this.
Everybody thought it was drugs and everything. Well, it was a situation between Bart and him back about 3 years ago. But Bart's my boy, and that's the way the street was. That's where I was growing up. You're my boy, you're my boy. I'm not gonna run. Something happens, I'm not gonna, like right now, we go to a club and somebody's picking on you. I'm not gonna leave you. You know, you always stick up for your boys. And I saw the guy was about to shoot him, and I just prevented it, and the guy shot me.
What did you do? You jumped in front of the bullets?
Well, I ain't jumping in front of him, but I hollered at him, so he turned around and started shooting me. Before he started shooting my boy in the head, about to shoot my boy in the head, he was down tying his sneaks, and I saw the gun come out.
He was about to take him right in the back of the head, because he had his back to him.
He had his back toward him, yeah. And I heard him, I seen it, and I just ran toward him. Yo, he turned around and shot me.
So essentially, you saved his life. But
yeah.
you took bullets yourself. One of them was in your hand. Hold your hand up. We'll see if we can get it. You have a pen in that hand even now,
don't you?
I have a
pen
pen
right now, yeah.
There's the dark spot there. Man, was that just a blur? I mean, they always say it happened so fast. What do you remember when you started getting hit?
Well, I just remember the fire coming out the gun, about close as you are to me right now, and knocked the wind out of me. I even drove myself to Lady Lewis Hospital.
With
I got
3
my red
bullets in
bench
you.
and drove to the hospital. But like I said, we're just talking about different athletes, the way we was raised and different things like that. I have 2 parents. I got away from God for a little bit, but I got back with him now. So it helps you out a lot to know the Lord, to know good people in your life.